Hello, I am Remo Yes Man, and today I want to talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, because Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolute dog shit, and to be honest, I think this is the worst Call of Duty since Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. And I'm not necessarily alone in this sentiment, but ultimately this is my opinion, but I would appreciate it if you hear me out. And if the COD cocksuckers still want to come for me after the video, then it's all good, dog, I'm ready. Now to start, let me just say this is not actually Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's some complete bullshit. This is just some recycled reskin garbage with free-to-play mobile game elements thrown in there. And the only reason they called it Modern Warfare 2 is to nostalgia bait people into buying it during a year where Call of Duty wasn't doing so well, and that's not to mention all the allegations of sexual misconduct and mismanagement that goes on at Activision Blizzard. So today, guys, I want to give you 5 reasons why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolute dog shit. And I'm going to start with reason number 1, the user interface. Now, the user interface of this game is just absolute dog shit. From the moment you boot up the game, the first thing you see is a banner telling you to buy the fucking Battle Pass. And then not even that, like the banner doesn't even go away immediately. There's all kinds of shit that kind of leads you towards the store. And then on top of that, when you're ready to play a game, you have to navigate through a slew of menus just to get to the game mode you want to play. Like, Call of Duty has always been known for getting you into the action as quickly as possible. You could literally boot up the disc and click the X button 3 times and you're instantly in team deathmatch. But in this fucking Call of Duty game, they have a slew of menus that are just cluttering the screen, and it almost comes across as very mobile game-esque. I don't understand how you guys managed to incorporate poor UI design into every facet of the menus, including the gunsmith, the camouflage menu, and the perk menus. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Reason number 2 why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolute dog shit: the create a class / perk system. Now, the create a class system in Call of Duty has always been streamlined to the point where even a new player hopping on the game for the first time can understand it. But now they have streamlined the create a class system to the point where when you unlock weapon attachments, first of all, it is really slow to level up your weapons. Like, the weapon grind is real, and that's all to entice you to buy weapon XP tokens or a weapon variant. But when you level up your weapon, traditionally the way it's always worked is, in order to unlock the attachment for that weapon, you simply level the weapon up and the corresponding attachment will be unlocked at that available level. But now they have tied certain attachments to different weapons, so not only do you have to level up your weapon, but you have to level up some different weapons that you may not even be interested in using in order to unlock that certain attachment that's available at that level. This wouldn't be such a big deal if the game was fun to play and the XP hasn't been nerfed into the ground, but considering all those factors, it takes a fuck ton of time just to max out one weapon. And even when you max out that weapon, you have to max out several other weapons along the way in order to unlock certain attachments. Now, the perk system is absolute ass. They have a bunch of these preset perk packages, and you have to kind of go out of your way to create your own custom perk package. And even when you have that, when you spawn in the game, all your perks are not immediately available. You have to play the game and then your perks unlock throughout the duration of the match. So if you're one of those players that really depended a lot on your perks, certain perks are tier 1 perks, tier 2 perks, and tier 3 perks, and they unlock throughout the duration of that match. Oftentimes, once you unlock that final perk throughout the match, you immediately can see the difference in gameplay, and it makes absolutely no sense to have perks on a timer in the most fast-paced shooter on the market. The perk system is a confusing and convoluted mess, especially considering the fact that most of the time you're gonna have different loadouts with different perks on them, especially considering the fact that a lot of players don't shoot down score streaks. You might have to switch to your cold-blooded class, and you know, it kind of just fucks up the whole experience when you have to unlock your perks, and it just kind of makes gameplay confusing in general. I don't know why they fucked up the create a class system in this way, because in a lot of older Call of Duties, we had a pick 10 system that worked perfectly fine. In a lot of older Call of Duties, you would pick your primary weapon, you would pick your secondary weapon, and you could pick 3 perks. And there were also wild cards available. These wild cards would do anything from grant you danger close, or allow you to take an extra first perk or second perk or third perk. And it was a really simple system that worked perfectly fine. Reason number 3 why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolute dog shit: the Nerfed XP. Now, for years, Call of Duty has been nerfing the amount of XP you earn in the base game, and make no mistake, they do this for the purpose of getting players to buy the Battle Pass. You literally have a tab on your menu at all times that indicates when you have a booster active, as well as a XP booster, as well as the Battle Pass XP booster. Weapon XP has been nerfed into the ground for the purpose of making weapon XP tokens seem a lot more enticing. As a result of this predatory game design, it takes so long to level up your weapons if you don't buy the Battle Pass or any XP boosters or tokens, that most players just aren't going to sit there and grind the game long enough to get diamond camos on all their shit, because the game just isn't fun to play at this point in time. The game is complete dog shit, and you're constantly pointing towards the market, and obviously they throw all the really cool camos in the market for the purpose of enticing players to just go buy a camo for your weapon instead of grinding for the camos that are already in the game. And even with the skill-based matchmaking, man, if the XP wasn't nerfed into the ground, I could honestly deal with the skill-based matchmaking, because what they don't realize is one thing that keeps players playing the game is leveling up their weapons and grinding for camos. But if the game is in such a poor state that you're going out there and sweating it out every single match, you're not gonna feel like going out there and grinding for shit. You're not gonna wanna do this, you know? After 4 or 5 games, motherfuckers don't wanna play this shit anymore. They're like, you know, I already know what the next game is gonna be like. I don't wanna fucking do this shit again. I need to go fucking take a shower. Like, get the fuck out of here. The way Call of Duty games have always worked is, even if you were not a Call of Duty main, you could hop on Call of Duty and do really well for a couple of matches and accumulate a ton of levels for your weapon. And that kind of kept you playing the game, because you're like, hey, I'm leveling up my weapon so fast. Hey, I might as well be going for the challenges. You know, I might as well be grinding for the camos. But now it takes so long just to max out one weapon. Like, I could literally put up 50 kills with one weapon and not even get 2 levels for it. And that's not me being hyperbolic either. I put up 50 kills with this goddamn sniper and I barely got 2 levels for it. And this wouldn't necessarily be a problem if the game was enjoyable to play. If the game was super enjoyable, obviously a lot of players would have no problem grinding it. But the thing is, if you have over a 1.0 KD, every round is going to be a sweat fest. And personally, I used to stay in lobbies for hours, like in Black Ops 2, Ghost, even Modern Warfare 2, the real Modern Warfare 2. But now, if you have over a 1 point KD, you know every match is going to be a sweat fest. And personally, after I play like 6 matches of constant back-to-back sweaty ass players just jumping around doing stupid shit, I get sick of it. You know, I'm like, I don't feel like playing this, dog. I'm gonna hop off this shit, you know? I'm gonna go do something else. And as a result of that, I don't grind the game. I barely end up playing, so much so to the point where I've only leveled to like level 50. And I've literally been in lobbies where I've been at the top of my team and I had people be like, look at that, that's crazy. You got this level 40 something at the top while these level 300s are below him. And yeah, that's because I'm from the old fucking Call of Duty. I just don't play the game because it's absolute dog shit, but I can still fucking get in here and fucking throw them with the big boys. But the game is in such a poor state right now. The only time that I would even consider grinding the game for an extended period of time is during a double XP weekend, because that's the only time where it would be worth it. And not just a double XP weekend in particular, it has to be double weapon XP, because I don't necessarily give a fuck about double XP. It's my weapons I give a fuck about. But to be honest, the game is in such a poor state that I usually miss all the double XP weapon events. Reason number 4 why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolute dog shit: the Battle Pass. That's right, the Battle Pass. Every time you boot up the game, the fucking Battle Pass. Every time you're scrolling through the menus, the fucking Battle Pass. Every time you finish a goddamn match, the Battle Pass. Guess what? Battle Pass. Hey motherfucker, buy the Battle Pass. Fuck you, Activision. Now, the reason the game's XP issues are so bad and the game is so fucking grindy is because every single facet of the game is designed around getting you to buy the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass makes the game more pay to win than ever, because the Battle Pass literally gives you a permanent XP boost. You get XP tokens in the Battle Pass. You get weapon variants in the Battle Pass, which may not seem like such a big deal, but considering the fact that leveling up a weapon is so slow, a lot of times buying weapon variants allows you to bypass the grind completely, because these weapon variants already come with some of the attachments that are already locked at higher level weapon tiers. Some weapons are literally exclusive to the Battle Pass, as well as some operators, but that's not too surprising because that's in line with a lot of other games that feature a Battle Pass type system. But the only difference is a lot of other games don't cost you fucking $70. Like, if you are planning to grind Call of Duty, you are literally handicapped if you don't buy that Battle Pass, because it provides that permanent XP boost. Like, the implementation of the Battle Pass is so bad in this game that I would argue the supply drop system was better. And those are words that I never thought would come out of my mouth. But the thing about the supply drop system is You didn't have to nerf XP in order to entice people to buy supply drops. You didn't have to design every facet of the game around supply drops. It was just weapons. The fact that the supply drops had weapons were enticing enough for a lot of people to go for them. Whereas the season pass, you are literally handicapped if you don't buy that shit. And the season pass model is complete bullshit, because with the season pass model, they get to hide behind this bullshit lie where it's like, oh, all future maps will be free. First of all future maps are not free, because you've already paid $70 for that bullshit. Plus, whoever the fuck bought the battle pass, you know they're raking in the dough off that. And then on top of that, a lot of times these maps are drip fed to us. And then on top of that, a lot of times these maps are just recycled, reskinned garbage. The reason the 24/7 playlists like Shipment 24/7, for example, are so popular, it's because a lot of these maps are fucking ass and they just don't flow well. The way Call of Duty post-launch content used to work is you would pay $60 for the base game and you would pay $30 for the season pass, which guaranteed you access to at least 4 map packs. These map packs would each contain at least 4 new maps. A lot of times it would be 3 maps for multiplayer, 1 map for zombie, but you can bet your ass at the end of the game's life cycle, you would have at least 12 new DLC maps to play. But with this season pass model, they can drip feed content slow as fuck, because to be honest, their development team is stretched thin. They're not necessarily focused on multiplayer as much as they are focused on bullshit like Warzone. Reason number 5 why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolute dog shit. The skill-based matchmaking. Now, let me tell you a story, guys. On the original Modern Warfare 2, I used to be one of the worst players on that shit, partially because I hopped in late in the game's life cycle at the point where there are already hackers, but I didn't have a lot of people to play with me, but I did have this one friend named Nero. Me and Nero, we played a fuck ton of Call of Duty together, all the way up until a lot of the most recent Call of Duties. And one thing Nero would always tell me in these most recent Call of Duties, he would always be like, dude, how the fuck do you get us into these lobbies full of the most amazing players? And I really didn't pay it that much attention back then. I kind of just laughed it off, right? Because to me, I kind of just thought the overall skill level of the community had went up. I thought everybody's a badass at this game now, you know? Everybody's just super good at Call of Duty. It's not necessarily a hard game, so I guess like the overall skill level of the community has went up. Wrong. It hasn't. Now, the way skill-based matchmaking works is pretty self-explanatory. The game is supposed to match you with players of a similar skill level, but the thing is, the skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty is so fucking broken to where if you have over a 1.0 KD, you will be put in some of the craziest fucking lobbies in the game. Every single match you play will be a sweat fest, because you're essentially going to be going up against the Call of Duty All-Stars every game. And then on top of that, I know we've all had those games where you're the only one on your team putting in any work going positive, where you have 5 dudes with no thumbs on your team and you're going up against the Call of Duty MLG All-Stars and you guys are just getting your asses blown out, everybody except you. Like, the skill-based matchmaking in this game is so aggressive to the point where a lot of times when we're getting our asses dug out, I kind of just have to abandon the objective. That way I can just go toe to toe with these assholes and let them know, like, hold on, man, I ain't no bitch either, you know? We may lose this match, but I guarantee you I'm going positive. And to be perfectly honest with you, the skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty does do its job, because how often do you have those games where it's just a blowout, right? Not too often, right? A lot of times you're on the receiving end of that shit, but compared to how it used to be back in the day where you can just have back-to-back matches where you manage to rush somebody's spawn trap them, and just blow them the fuck out. That type of shit doesn't usually happen anymore. So skill-based matchmaking is strangely balanced, right? But balance doesn't necessarily equate to a fun experience. And to be honest, most of my games where I'm not getting fucking blown out are highly competitive neck to neck, where you don't know who the fuck is going to win, and it's just highly sweaty. And to be honest, when the game is sweaty like this, there's no room for experimentation or deviation in your build. You have to be running the most optimal shit it takes to win, because when players are playing this aggressively, it's almost like you want to prove a point, you know? You don't want these aggressive, sweaty assholes to win, when in reality, you're playing the same way. Anyway, guys, this has been my top 5 reasons why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is absolute dog shit. I urge you not to buy this game and not to give Activision any of your money. And if you ever feel the need to play a Call of Duty game, hell, fucking pirate it, fucking steal it. And no, I do not condone theft of any kind, but you can't necessarily steal from a thief. Now, can you? This is Remo Yes Man, signing out. Peace.